Welcome back, Rainmakers, to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about some great stuff related to NFTs and just some thoughts I've had as I've been processing some of the information. This market changes so fast, but I need to share with you some very interesting things that I've seen and bring them to your attention. Maybe you've missed this, maybe you've been on top of it, but if you've missed this, the relevance to your investment portfolio could be high if you're seeing the same thing I do and you like what you're seeing. So, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get this party started?
Or John McAfee says he is eating his own.
All right. Okay, so let's get started looking at something that is highly interesting. Now, I don't know if you've been following NBA Top Shot, but as I've been thinking about NFTs for the past year, I've been trying to figure out what would do the best. And of course, NBA Top Shot, which is built on the Flow blockchain, they got the deal to get the NBA licensing. Now, let's look at the Flow blockchain. And you could have made good money on the Flow blockchain. Right now, it's at a market cap of almost $1 billion. Now, the circulating supply is ridiculously low versus the total supply. But I mean, look at this. So it's had some big increases. So it was down here at the beginning of January, like $6, and it's up here 5x from there. Do you know what is way farther than 5x higher? Well, let me show you. Okay, so when these came out, it's always been kind of crazy to get their packs, especially after the first few months, and it's still hard. Like, you got to be right there, and you got to then buy quickly, and it's a pain, and sometimes it freezes up, and you don't get your stuff, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, I tried getting some packs on this, and that went okay, but what I noticed was that I didn't get any LeBron James cards, which was a disappointment, being one of the top players in the NBA of all time. And because you can't buy like Michael Jordan's card or Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain's card, because they're not playing now, that was one of the best cards I figured that would do the best. So I wasn't able to get any in the packs, but I thought, well, let me look up LeBron James and get LeBron James. So if we looked here, now I do have this set to Series 1. Because with anything that comes out, it's important that it's Series 1. It usually does the best. Not always. Just almost always. So let's look up LeBron James. And there were a bunch of cards available of his, and some were trading for pretty high numbers at the time, but not numbers this high. And what is interesting is how high some of these are. Now this shows you, glaring right at you, the lowest ask price. So now, back when I was looking at these, like November of last year, October of last year, the prices were vastly different. In fact, some of these you could pick up for quite a steal of a deal. And let me show you exactly what happened. So, let's see. I was able to get... I want to show you a filter. I was able to pick up 2 LeBron James cards. And I want to show you the kind of appreciation. Now, the Flow blockchain was great, and it's 6x. However, specific cards that have high desirability, let's look at how they've done. So I bought this one, and it will show the transaction of when I bought it, which is what I want to see. So I bought it back in September 25th for $58. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I didn't buy like 10 of these. I really wish I had, because let's see what the 22 available for sale by collectors are going for. Wow, lowest ask price, $18,000 freaking dollars. With some of them having sold, this one with the serial number 32 sold for $22,000, $19,000. And over here you can see what people are asking for them. So the number 7, this person is asking $38,000. The current lowest ask is number 222, and that's $18,000. Okay. Interesting, right? So is that maybe some appreciation? Now that was rare, so I figured, oh yeah, that'll do well. But This one had a cooler moment on it, so I thought I would pick this up too. And I don't remember what I paid for it. It should show us what I paid for it. Owned, and I've got number 746 out of 1,000. And it's not telling me what I paid for it. Okay. Let's look at 44 sale. Wow. Your lowest ask price, $25,000. Now, let's see if it shows here what I paid for it. For some reason, it doesn't want to show me. I bought it right around the same time frame. All right, let's look at, so the lowest ask price is here, but you see how high these go. And I've got serial number, what was it? Yeah, it's not showing me unless I go back. 746. Okay. So mine isn't up for sale, but this one is a higher serial number than what I have. But look at these prices. And these things have been going absolutely crazy. Let me show you another thing that I look at. Okay, so no, we want to go to Marketplace. We want to look at, we definitely want to put a filter, but I want to show you this filter. Let's look at just Series 1. Okay, so these are just mixing, like some of them are common, some of them are like uncommons. I don't follow basketball closely these days. It's been 25 years since I did. I just knew that the NBA license was a huge thing in Series 1. Seems like it would be a huge thing, but I didn't know. I didn't know LeBron James would do so well, or I would have bought like 100 different LeBron James cards. I figured it would do well, and I'll share with you why I'm going over this, because it just made sense that this would do well. So the next question is, are there maybe some other things that might have this kind of return of value on investment that haven't boomed yet that might? Isn't that what we always are asking, what we want to know? And the reason I'm spending time showing this is not to brag. It's really to give context to some of this information. Like, yeah, that was lucky. I thought probably it's appreciated. I thought I better check the other day. I was absolutely floored with the kind of return on investment on it. And I kicked myself for not having bought more, right? I just didn't know. And at the time, there were tons available, especially of the common ones. So some were selling in 1,000, 2,000. I think the very highest one was asking like 7,000 for one of the cards that was super rare. And I think the lowest price now on that same card is like 200 and something thousand. But let's look at just even the packs. I mean, okay, so this is one of the cheapest ones. One of the cheapest cards, $170. And what's interesting, when I try to look at all the recent transactions, it fails. So I'm not able to look at that. But look at all these sales going on. March 12th, March 12th, March 12th. Looks like all, even these common ones, are just flying off the shelf. March 10th, March 11th, March 11th, March 11th. Holy freaking cow, this is some momentum. Now, some of these higher price sales went earlier. So this one sold on March 5th for $499. On February 2nd, it was serial number 1500. So it's a little bit of a rare serial number. That's why these went for higher values. And you'll see a lot of that, especially in these common ones. So let's find another common one. That, okay, $97 for Narland's Noel. And so what's incredible to me is the prices that even these commons are going for. So serial number 1 went for a high price. But in general, look at these flying off the shelves. Now, they were easily available. In fact, you could have bought the common Series 1 sets. Like, they were available for forever. And it's just the rare ones and the legendary ones that would go like this, that you had to be sitting right at the computer and try to get them. And even then, sometimes it failed. But look at the common basketball players are going for $90. And I think you got like 5 cards in a pack. And what, they were like $50. So you've made 5x on those. That's if you only got like not really important cards. Because some of the players, depending on the player, it's a lot higher than that. See, this is a common. There's 4,000 of them, but the lowest ask on this is $715. Why? Well, better player, right? That's what I assume. I literally haven't followed basketball in 25 years, so I haven't kept track of who all the players are. But look at these prices. I mean, some of these are like legendary cards. So legendary card, lowest ask price, $8,500. Holy frick. So how does that relate to today? Well, I talked about this before. And so the license means everything. The license on something that's desirable, right? So is Batman desirable across the world? My guess is yes. I mean, basketball is kind of popular across certain countries, but not everywhere. Just like Batman is popular in a lot of places, but not everywhere. And so getting my phone, like, there are some Series 1s of Batman still available, but they're the common and the uncommon. And in my opinion, they're really cool. And so I bought, after talking about them the other day, I bought even more because I just figured, after looking at what happened to NBA Top Shot, everything Series 1 is going absolutely ballistic. So if you get the app, it's a little bit of a pain. What you're looking for is you want to go on the app and you want to find generally Batman Black and White, not the specific series. So what you do is you go to the brands column, and I don't know how well you can see this, but you're scrolling over for Batman Black and White, and then you're looking for Series 1. Now, unfortunately, the Ultra Rare is sold out, and that sold at a good price. So the uncommon one, which is actually a really cool Batman, is going for $44.99 in US dollars. And then the common one is going for even higher for some reason, $80. But what's interesting about those LeBron James cards is the common one is actually going for more than the rare one that I got. Probably because the common one is a cooler dunk than the rare one. And so scarcity does play a portion in it, but how cool it is. And this common Batman one, let me see if you can see this. Let's see. I can't get it there. It's focused in now. It's a really, really cool piece. In fact, one of the coolest models that they did. I wouldn't be too shocked if in 6 months, 7 months, it has a kind of ridiculous appreciation we've seen on some of those NBA Top Shot cards. Just a thought. I don't know that it'll happen, just like I didn't know that it would happen with LeBron James. I just suspect it might happen. Now, I know a lot of people are excited about Ikomi and the Omi token, and there's lots to be excited there. And I haven't followed up since the other day. It appeared like it was breaking out. Why? Because focus my attention on these NFTs, these specific NFTs. Because though I think the blockchain, not the Flow blockchain, but the Omi blockchain that's on top of GoChain, I suspect that that it will still have some price increases. However, think about that. You could get a card for $69 back then. I think the next one was like $10 more, and then they went up from there that were commonly available on the market back then. And now they're going for like $22,000 and up. And so the return on investment on that is ridiculous, especially if I would have bought a bunch of them. For just having bought like 2 LeBron James cards, I look back in disappointment, right? But, when you miss it, you miss it. At least I didn't fully miss it. So just some thoughts for all of you. Wouldn't it be fun if a lot of our rainmakers ended up being millionaires and multimillionaires this cycle? Of course, I hope many of you stick around. Many of you might not have enough funds to make good investments to become millionaires or multimillionaires this cycle because maybe you're just starting and maybe you'll get lucky and some right things will happen. And that would be great, but the question is, how many people can change their lives financially both this cycle and the future cycle? I don't know about you, but this cycle is going well for me, and it's obviously completely changed my financial future. And but I'm not just looking at this cycle. I'm looking at taking profits this cycle and setting up things well for the following cycle too. And I hope you not only join me now and become a rainmaker by subscribing to the channel and helping me out by liking the videos. Really appreciate it when you do that. But if you join the Rainmaker team through doing that, that you stick around not only for now as I share with you my thoughts on what I'm seeing out there. Keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. I'm just an investor myself and sharing with you my thoughts on the investments I make for myself. But you stick around not only for this time, but also the crypto winter when it'll get boring and it'll get depressing for a while. And we'll be looking at other things that might be doing well during then, and maybe some stable coins will be yielding some good rates, and maybe that'll be a good place to be earning more money while we're waiting for really good buys to pop up again, because often from the peak it's about 2 years before in general the good buys happen. Now sometimes some good buys happen like as soon as a year later. I know really a couple tokens popped off from there, and one of them being Chainlink really started popping off not too long after the peak of the other things. About 9 months later, I think, is when Chainlink really started its run. So I suspect that there will be some like that, and probably this crypto winter there will be some tokens that don't quite see the kind of retracements we saw last time, because last time the only thing that had massive functionality available was Ethereum. All the other altcoins were still just a promise and a dream. But this time you have many altcoins that are rolling out their functions and effectiveness, and so, my guess is the crypto winter will not be exactly the same as it was last time. It'll have a lot of differences, just like this bull run, and the altcoins are having a lot of differences from the previous cycle. In fact, in the previous cycle, most of the things were not running so strong, so hard, so early in the bull run. Alright guys, well, if you haven't already, love it if you like the video, subscribe to the channel to get more of my thoughts on just what I see going on. I hope this is helpful to you. Will this do well? I don't know. I bought 4 of like the uncommon ones and 2 of the common ones, and just crossing my fingers. My guess is about 7 months from now, when everything's sold out, Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4, and they're on like Series 15, and the only way to get those early Series 1s is on the resale market, and there will be a lot of people competing for those. It will really drive up the prices on the Series 1, because they're already at Series 4 and they released, and the rare and the ultra rare sold immediately. I wasn't even able to get, I think, either of those. But I was still able to go back and get Series 1, the common and the uncommon, which there's a chance in the future that the Series 1 common and uncommons are worth more than the Series 4 ultra rare. Wouldn't that be interesting? So, with that said, guys, I will see you next time.